Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and this is Talk to the Snakes from Jaded Gem Shop and the artist Toshiya-san. I'm going to go into a full review of this diamond painting project today and share my thoughts, which I have a lot, and talk about my experience of actually working on this kit and just overall try to give you a recommendation on if this is a kit I think that you should pick up if you like the artwork. So we're gonna, like I said, go into lots of detail, what I loved, what I didn't love. I have my paper logbook here, so I always take notes on the kits that I actually go and work on, so we'll take a look at that. Now, Jaded Gem Shop is a small shop in the diamond painting world, and like a lot of small shops in the diamond painting community, they do most of their kits made to order, though they do carry some ready to ship kits, including sometimes this exact kit. This is going to impact things mainly in terms of turnaround time. If you're getting something that's made to order, the nice thing is that you're going to get to customize it, and there's no FOMO. And there's just, you can kind of get exactly what you want. On the other hand, the nice thing about ready to ship is that you'll get it much more quickly. Now, I'm okay with waiting as long as the shop is communicating to me up front what my turnaround time is going to look like, which in my experience, I feel like Jaded Gem Shop does do a decent job of, but it is a longer turnaround time, so just be aware of that if you're going into it and you're getting something that's not ready to ship. That said, I have worked on several Jaded Gem Shop kits over the years and have been pretty happy with the quality, but like I said, just kind of want to go through the features and see if the things that I look for and prioritize in this diamond painting are things that you also would prioritize. Let's take a look at the stats breakdown really quickly. For this one, I think I did put a bookmark in there, I believe. I did work on this a couple of months ago. I started it on April 28th and finished it about a month later on May 27th. This is 60 by 80 centimeters and has 50 colors in total and has square diamonds. I like to rank my kits in terms of confetti and how much I enjoyed working on a kit, and also starting this year I've been tracking the number of drills in a kit. I'm kind of seeing how many diamonds I place over the course of the year. I think it would just be really fun. Don't ask me why I have the completely not matching washi tape. I had a whole intention at one point of making sure that I used the exact washi tape that I used on the border of the kit in my logbook journal. It's a long story. I tend to fall behind on this, and I kind of just grab whatever washi tape is handy. I know. Anyway, back to this. Confetti-wise, I ranked this one about a 6 out of 10. There's a lot of color blocking because this is a hand-charted piece, which I'll explain that in just a sec. But snake scales, lots of other areas, there's a lot of confetti. So lots of color changes, lots of single placing, that kind of thing. Enjoyment, I gave this a 4 out of 10, and I'll try to explain why, because it was mostly a me problem, though there were some like minor quality issues with some drill colors that also probably contributed to that. Number of drills in this kit was a bit over 90,000, if I did my math right. This I worked on specifically in honor of the Year of the Snake, and at the beginning of 2025, I also did a video where I outlined 20 kits that I wanted to possibly work on this year, and this was on that list, so it was fun to check off a kit from that set of goals, even though I was holding those very loosely, of course. Here's Loved, Meh, and full disclosure, this was sent to me for PR. My only obligation was to unbox it, not to work on it. I just decided I wanted to work on it because I do like this artist's work a lot. I have a ton of Toshiya-san kits either in my diamond painting collection or on my wish list. So it was not, it was kind of a foregone conclusion, especially for Year of the Snake goodness. So yes, so I did keep all of the leftover drills, and I did have plenty leftover in all colors, which was good because there were, like I said, a couple of drill colors that they were more trash prone. A lot of the lighter colors, actually, I found to be a bit more trash prone. So I appreciated that there were plenty of extras. Like I think, well, this was like that glittery background color. It has like a fine glitter coating, and this whole background is just color blocked. This like shimmer, I think she calls them glimmer drills. Then we had some crystals, actually several crystal colors, which I loved the placement of, and then this pink glimmer drill. And then yeah, some of these lighter skin tones were just a little rougher in terms of quality. When I talk about quality, what I'm talking about with these, These are square drills, and when I talk about trash drills, I'm talking about drills that have little tabs sticking off the side, or maybe they're inconsistent in size and shape. So I feel like sometimes Jaded Gem Shop's light colors tend to be a little bit more trash prone. I've run into that with a couple of kits, and I have given that feedback to the shop so that they're aware. It can hopefully continue to improve that and really kind of target those issues with their supplier. So fingers crossed. I have had this kit for a while, so it's very possible that kits that have been coming out, which I'll be working on one kind of soon, a stitch along that I'm doing as a diamond painting that I got the canvas and diamonds from Jaded Gem Shop. Hopefully will be in soon. I'll kind of be paying close attention to those squares to see how I'm feeling about the quality. But a lot of the other colors, like all the other shades of pink, I generally didn't have any issues with. So it was just a couple of colors that were problematic. For the most part, the drill quality was honestly very top notch. I had a pretty good experience with the drill quality for most colors. Let me kind of show you a little bit more of this. This is on the bigger side, which I think I just got a little bit burned out on working on this particular kit with the size point. And I think just a lot of those lighter colors being trash prone, but also just not that enjoyable to work on, was maybe not my favorite either. Let me talk about some of the things that I really did love, because as I was kind of pulling this down in camera, it was catching my eye in frame. One of my favorite things about this piece, I love the crystal charting. When you have these two colors of crystals next to each other, it almost makes it look metallic gold in camera and a little bit in person too. So these different shades of crystals in her jewelry and accessories, I thought were stunning. I go back and forth on if I like the crystals that are in her hair. It's in a few different highlighting spots in her hair, this really light pink crystal. I'm on the fence. Sometimes I look at it and I go, oh, I think it's perfect. And sometimes I go, I kind of think I wish that were maybe like a glimmer drill or something instead. And then I also wanted to point out that, to give you context, Jaded Gem Shop offers both hand charted kits and she calls them hybrid charted, which are more computer charted kits. Hand charted kits are a lot more labor intensive, and Jade sometimes will have someone that helps her with them, but mostly is doing all the hand charting herself. What that means is, as opposed to having mostly a computer program render the artwork into diamond painting form and doing some touch-ups here and there, hand charting, Jade is spending often hours and hours and hours on these hand charted pieces, often going pixel by pixel. There's a lot more time and a lot more human touch that goes into these kits. I vastly prefer Jaded Gem Shop's hand charted kits over their hybrid charted kits right now. I like having some color blocking. I like that I can see a really nice level of detail, whether I'm up close to the piece or further back. The exception is Old Masters kits. I am obsessed with how Jaded Gem Shop does Old Masters artwork, and those tend to be more confetti heavy, and I think it's perfect and wouldn't change a thing. So I guess it's kind of artwork dependent what rendering style I'm going to lean towards. This one is hand charted. You can also get this piece as a computer or hybrid charted version from the shop. So here's the pros and cons. The hand charted version of this kit is always going to be this size point if you get square drills. If you get it in round drills, pixel for pixel, it's going to be the same exact rendering. But since round drills are slightly larger than square drills, if you got this in round drills, the hand-charted version, it's going to be a slightly larger canvas. But it's going to have the same exact number of round drills as it did squares. So like I said, that's what I'm trying to say, like pixel for pixel. If this is 2 crystals of this pink color wide in her eyes in the square drills, it's also going to be 2 pink crystals wide in round drills. Those take up more space. You get the idea. So there's not the same level of customization available if you get a hand-charted kit. It's just, this is the size this is offered in for this drill shape, full stop. There's not multiples. If you were to get this in the hybrid charted version, and you're going, I just don't want to work on a 60 by 80, I'm fine with hybrid charting, I'm going to get this in a smaller size. Or heck, if you want to get it in a bigger size, you're able to do that. If you want to add in more special drills or have fewer special drills than were hand-charted in, if you're getting a made-to-order, like customized kind of hybrid charted version, you can do that. So there's pros and cons for sure. But this is where I was kind of going with this. I hope you're tracking with me here. Jaded Gem Shop started out just really doing the hybrid charted kits and then started experimenting with doing more hand charting. this kit was one of the very, very early on pieces, one of the first pieces that Jaded Gem Shop hand charted. And I feel like having worked on other kits that are hand charted since then, I've seen their skill, subjectively, what I would call their skill with these, improve. And so little things that you'll hear me start to nitpick a little bit here about the rendering. For example, some of the color going on here, like where there's this color change here that I think was supposed to kind of denote like shading, like with her nose, that doesn't look quite right. I feel like that's something you wouldn't see happen in charting today. So I feel like I've just overall seen improvements, or maybe like a little more detail in the flower, that kind of thing. So I just wanted to share that kind of observation, something I've noticed over time. That said, I still think there's a lot of things that were done really beautifully well with this piece. There's crystals in her eyes and in her forehead. I think the special drill charting is really pretty with, like I said, the exception of the jury being out on this pale pink color. But yes, that's that really long-winded explanation of charting. Also, like, this is like a transparent panel at the top of her dress that I just don't know how I feel about how it translated to diamond painting form. But I looked back at the original artwork, which I have it taped here in my logbook again, and you can see where that panel is. You can kind of see this transparent panel here. And yeah, I don't know. I just have mixed feelings about it. But yeah, I'm just taking a look at this more closely. There is really a lot that I like about this. Now, those light color drills. Let's go back to that really quick. So not only were they trash prone, but also in a few spots, and I feel like while this is rolled up, they shifted even more. There is gapping with some of these colors. Some of them I feel like are fine, but when you have big color blocked sections of these light colors, like these skin tones, oh my gosh, that gapping stands out. Like you could tell this was like the edge of a section, and so it was multi-placing up to that spot. Now you can kind of grab a straightener and you can adjust these a little bit, but I think just how I had it rolled up, things kind of shifted a little bit, and that's kind of a bummer that there is that gapping. I also think this is something that maybe they've improved. Like, yeah, big gapping up here too. But in the darker colors, like, I don't see it. I just really don't see it at all. So I need to work on another kit that's more recent from them that has some of these light color palettes to see if this is still kind of a thing. Yeah, even like you can see a little bit in this glitter. This like shifted and you can see parts of the symbols. I'm not always, especially when there's kits like this one where the glue is really good and the canvas is very tolerant of shenanigans, like being kind of not perfectly rolled and, you know, that kind of thing. Sometimes I just am really lazy about it. So this was the instance of my kits that I've completed so far this year, I kind of rolled and then they were sitting on top of each other and they kind of, the weight of some of the ones on top, a little bit pushed down on the ones below. So that's what happened with this one. So I need to store my kits more responsibly. But like, I'm looking at it very closely and not a single drill has fallen off. The glue on Jaded Gem Shop kits, chef's kiss. One of the best things about their kits. The glue is fantastic. I also really like their canvas material. It's this kind of soft lint, short lint, and it just, even though this was rolled up and like kind of like flattened in a weird way, it laid flat with no fuss. It's just where the drills kind of shifted, where I feel like you're seeing how I was a little careless on how I rolled this up. So yeah, but no, overall, most of Jaded Gem Shop's materials, love them. Glue, canvas, most drill colors. Now, I think it was fun that they included this kind of ivory glimmer diamond as the background color. It's a subtle shimmer, so it's not bold like an AB or a crystal, but it kind of just gives a little bit of like more interesting shimmer to the background. I didn't hate it, but I didn't necessarily like, it's such a subtle look that it would have been fine if it wouldn't have been a special drill, I feel like. But there's the pink shimmer. It's in her hair. You can kind of see it in there. So that I love as a special drill highlighting in her hair. I think that's really, really pretty. Okay, it's also in her fingernails too. That's really fun. So let me refresh my memory. I don't know if that I have anything else really to say about this particular kit. Burnout. Why did I get burned out? Okay, let me kind of explain that. So I'm kind of glad that I'm doing this post review a couple of months after actually completing this. because I feel like I have a better understanding of why I burned out on this particular kit. And that is that I'm finding that this year, kits that are in that 60 by 80 centimeter range, I'm just burning out on them really easily. So this is 60 by 80. There's another kit I very recently completed that's 60 by 80 that I also was, actually, I don't know if it was quite 60 by 80, but it was on the bigger end. And I was just like, I don't know. I'm getting bored with working on it. And I had another kit going at the same time as this one. And I just kept finding myself reaching for that other kit instead and just feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm so in love with this other artwork. And this is artwork that I really, really like, but I'm not head over heels. This was kind of a kit that I worked on because I do really love the artist's work, but I don't know. I think it was because it was the year of the snake. I thought going into it that all the shades of pink were going to be something that I enjoyed, but as it turned out when I started working on it, there are a lot of shades of pink, but over half of this kit really are these skin tones and like the pale background color. And so the things that I thought I was going to love about this kit just weren't as big of a factor as I was expecting. And that's my fault. If I would have looked closer at the artwork, I would have gone, oh, yeah, there's a lot of pink, but actually not as much as I'm going into this thinking that there is. So I don't know. I don't think it's the shop's fault, though some of the iffy quality on the light color drills I'm sure didn't help. And I think it was just a matter of I didn't love this artwork as much as some other pieces. So a combination of things, the size, the artwork itself, the colors, and a little bit like that drill quality issue I ran into with a couple of those light skin tones just made this feel kind of tedious to work on, which is not normally my experience with Jaded Gem Shop kits. So that was kind of a bummer. It just felt like a kit that it took me a long time to finish, and my start to end date being a month is a bit on the longer side for me, even though, like I said, I was working on other kits. It helped to have another kit going so I could kind of like go back and forth a little bit. So I was kind of breaking this up a little bit with another kit, but I don't know. It's interesting a couple of months later to be looking back on this and going, yeah, I still have, a lot of those same feelings about it. But I like looking at it completed, and I love that I worked on a snake kit in honor of this year being the year of the snake. And I think characters like Medusa are really fascinating. I think this is technically fan art for Monster High, which I've never seen, but I just thought the artwork, her gaze is very arresting. It's very striking, and yeah. So anyway, you guys, I think that's about it for my review on this one. I would love to hear your thoughts below, particularly what are things that are make or break it for you when it comes to diamond paintings. For me, you'll hear me talk ad nauseum about the render of kits. That's what you'll hear me spend the most time on in these review videos, is how do I feel like it translated from the original artwork? And so for this one, I feel like it's pretty good. And I'm just delighted that Jaded Gem Shop kind of started experimenting with doing hand-charted pieces, because now I am obsessed with so much of what they're doing and think that they've improved a lot and have come a long way. And it's the rendering style I'm gravitating towards. But anyway, make or break it's for me, the render, because I don't want to have to try to doctor it to fix it. I just want it to be good the way that it comes to me. When it's square drills, the drill quality is going to be a big factor as well. I'm going to notice it if it's not, like I mentioned, a few times in this video. Other things like just overall material quality. I loved how this has just solid, really good quality glue and canvas. And I like that I'm supporting a small shop that has licensed artwork, especially right now. Small shops need our support and need our love. And so I love being able to be a part of supporting a small shop like Jaded Gem Shop. But yes, you guys, let me know your thoughts on this one. Do you agree with what I said? Disagree? Do you notice some things that maybe I didn't, whether it's positive or negative or somewhere in the middle? I always value reading your thoughts and those of you that take the time to leave them. I also really value those of you that took the time to watch this video. I very much hope that it was helpful and would love to have you subscribe if you did enjoy it and want to see more diamond painting videos from me. You'll see reviews and unboxings from a variety of different diamond painting companies, and as well as weekly whip and chats and other diamond painting related videos. I would love to have you here as part of my community. Either way though, I really hope that you're doing very well and that you have a day and a week that's as wonderful as you are. I will talk to you again soon. Bye.